The Yakuza series is one of those IPs that I would have never thought could make a place in the Western market. These games are out of control, and the turn-based RPG variant of Like a Dragon may be the wackiest of them all. And thanks to Patreon top tier member Rob Kuro's request, I was finally able to play and beat, and now rate, this RPG gem.
Oh God, Dane.
Now this Patreon request is technically a two-parter, as Rob requested that I rate the jobs of Like a Dragon's sequel, Infinite Wealth, which I'll have up later in the year. But for now, let's jump into this list. If you would like to request your own tier list, join the top or God tier on Patreon. If you want to see exclusive content, you can join the membership tier for only $1 a month. Yakuza Like a Dragon is an interesting title to investigate. Like a Dragon has a traditional job system, but it's laid out in a modern style that drips with charisma. Once you've reached Chapter 5, you can change your party members from their default jobs into multiple variations. Which job you choose is heavily dependent on which role you want them to fill. Whether it's support, DPS, healing, or debuffing, there's a job for every role. Now, placement of jobs on this list is dependent on a few factors. There are multiple skills that, once learned, can carry over to other jobs. There are also exclusive character jobs and jobs that aren't unlocked until later in your playthrough. I'll be considering accessibility, skills, access to weapon and elemental type attacks, and overall usefulness. I'll also reveal the best job for each party member at the end of the video. But with all that aside, let's start with the tier. The worst job in the entire game is Ichiban's default job of Freelancer. It's really only here for the introduction to the game and is quickly replaced. It provides basic skills and no weapon types aside from blunt. The next job on the tier is Psycho's default job, the Barmaid. Every available job outclasses this job in every way. Not only that, but the handbag weapon type is hard to come by, making it even more useless. The low tier. The first member of the low tier, and possibly tier candidate if it wasn't for a single ability, is the Foreman. The Foreman comes with the Demolish ability, which allows Ichiban to remove obstacles in dungeons. This is incredibly useful, but can be acquired as soon as the job is available, and requires no grinding. Aside from that, the Foreman is a high damage but much higher risk job, not worth using. Adachi's default job, Detective, is an early peeker, being useful in the opening hours, but quickly becoming obsolete when Ichiban receives his hero class. After that, there isn't really a reason to use it. Speaking of high risk, high reward jobs, the Bodyguard is a physical DPS class that is locked to male party members and trades HP for damage. Seeing as there are other jobs that can dish out just as much damage without sacrificing HP means it isn't very useful in a playthrough, but it is possibly the coolest looking job, I'll give it that. The final member of the low tier is the Musician. The Musician is a solid support job, but is held back by its unique voltage mechanic. If at maximum voltage, this class can do some decent damage, but getting there requires way too much work and time, and like the Foreman and Bodyguard, other jobs simply surpass it without the downside. Alright, we're going to break the mid-tier up into two parts, so let's start with the lower mid-tier. In Like a Dragon, there are two DLC jobs. The male exclusive job, Devil Rocker, is easily the worst of the two and is the only member of the lower mid-tier. It's a jack-of-all-trades job that does everything, but does it worse than anyone else. Its lack of expertise makes it useless, as Ichiban's hero class is also a jack-of-all-trades, but does everything better. The upper mid-tier. The Night Queen is the first viable physical job, though jobs like the Matriarch, Dealer, and Clerk are far better choices for the two female party members. Its most notable ability is the Brainwash status effect, which can be useful against mobs. With that being said though, the Night Queen's damage is just okay, meaning it falls off, especially in the late game. The Hostess is our first magic-focused job and excels in debuffs and ice damage. It's hard to find a situation where the Hostess is advantageous over other female jobs, but if you use it, it's not like it will actively punish you, so there's that. The Chef is similar to the Homeless Guy job, but available to everyone. It focuses on fire damage and blade attacks, hitting enemies multiple times. Stacking fire and bleed effects can, over time, dish out some immense damage, which ultimately makes the Chef viable. The Breaker would be much higher on this list if it wasn't so dependent on gear. It's an AoE DPS and self-buffer, efficient at dealing with mobs of enemies. Its agility and upper damage could maybe move it higher on this list, but like I said, without the right equipment, it suffers, which ultimately holds it back. The Gangster class is exclusive to Zhao and is here mainly due to its strong blade damage and debuffing capabilities. That being said, you don't get Zhao till the end of the game, and by then, you probably have a party built for the endgame, making this default job somewhat obsolete. The final member of the upper mid tier is the Homeless Guy. The Homeless Guy is Nanba's default class and easily one of the most useful default classes in the early and mid game. Early on, Nanba's pyro magic will melt through enemies while also acting as the party's main healer until chapter 5. Seeing as Nanba can't obtain the best jobs in Like a Dragon till late in your playthrough, the mileage you'll get out of the Homeless job will come in clutch. The top tier. First on the top tier is the Fortune Teller. The Fortune Teller is a male-exclusive support and magic damaging job. It has party-wide buffs as well as an AoE electric attack. Fulminating Forecast is a transferable skill, so even if you don't bring this job to the endgame, it's worth leveling just for this ability. On top of all this, the Fortune Teller also has a wide array of debuffs, making it universally useful. The Host is another male-exclusive job that focuses primarily on magical damage. If given to a character like Nanba or even Ichiban, it can be devastating in battle. Its access to fire and ice spells along with golden and platinum finger, which can steal items from enemies, makes it incredibly useful. Not to mention its transferable ability, Ice Spreader. The Enforcer is the single best tank job in the game. In fact, I think it's the only one. It comes with high HP and defense as well as aggro abilities that will draw enemy attention away from your other party members. It can also stun enemies with AoE attacks, making it the best way to control the battlefield. Building a party around this job can lead to one of the best team comps in the game. Eri is the only hidden party member in Like a Dragon. She's locked behind the business management minigame and comes with the second best default job in the game, the Clerk. The Clerk has high blade damage, and if mixed with Eri's natural speed and the absolutely devastating ability, Thumbtack Scatter, the Clerk becomes a devastating DPS job. The Clerk's perfect for evasion, which allows you to waste enemy turns. The Dealer is a female-only job that has a high critical rate, multiple damage types, and one of the best skills in the game, Dart's Airstrike, which can obliterate mobs in a single turn. Given accessories that increase Dart Airstrike's chances of hitting and critting, and you have one of the better AoE attacks throughout your entire playthrough. The God Tier. First on the God Tier is the early game-breaking DLC job, the Matriarch. The Matriarch is a female-exclusive physical DPS job with incredible stats, slashing damage, AoE damage, and a transferable gun attack called Bull of Honor, which is useful in almost every situation. The only downside of the Matriarch is how late you get better weapons, but seeing as you can access it from the beginning, the only time this hurts you is in the mid-game. Jungi's default job, the Hitman, is the only job you will ever need. It not only has access to every damage type, but it also comes with a single target stun attack that costs almost 0 MP. The Hitman's ability to inflict poison, paralysis, bleed, instant death, and most importantly, stun, along with the high damage numbers, makes this the single best DPS job in Like a Dragon. Ichiban's exclusive job, the Hero, is accessed after the opening chapters and will easily become the single most versatile job in the entire game. Not only does it have incredible blunt damage and AoE abilities, but it comes with a party-wide attack buff, an AoE heal, and the best revive ability in the game. Ichiban's bats are easily accessible, and his ultimate weapon's basic attack comes with natural AoE range and electric damage. Also, if the satellite was locked to this job, it would be the top of the list, no questions asked. The final job of the God Tier and top of this list is the Idol. The Idol is a premier healing job and is almost a must for the higher difficulties. What makes this job so broken though is Love Drunk Typhoon. Love Drunk Typhoon is easily the best ability in the game, casting a battlefield-wide defense debuff along with a high chance of charming the enemies. Spamming this attack in almost every situation will turn the tide of battle. Throw on the fact that it can also heal everyone completely, as well as revive fallen party members, and it is just simply the best job in the entire game. Now as for best jobs for each character, we'll go in recruitment order. Ichiban should almost always be the hero job. Switch him over to the foreman job for the demolish skill, then switch him back immediately. The hero job will act as your main source of damage while also acting as a backup healer. Nanba should be the homeless guy for the majority of the game, switching over to the host as soon as it's available. This will capitalize on his magical damage and support. Adachi makes an awesome enforcer if you feel you need a tank. If not, he can be a decent physical DPS with Bodyguard or Devil Rocker. Psycho should be made an idol as soon as she can and pretty much be left there for the entire game. The idol alone will make any team comp optimal. Eri is best as either the matriarch or the dealer, depending on what type of damage you want. The dealer potentially has better AoE attacks, but overall the matriarch's diversity and damage will win out. Joongi should be left as he is in the Hitman job. There is no other optimal option for him. Zhao comes pretty late in the game and is best left to fill any holes in your team. This could mean leaving him as a gangster for damage and some support, or making him a host or enforcer. My endgame team was Ichiban as the hero, Psycho as an idol, Eri as a matriarch, and Joongi as himself. And that's our list. What was your favorite job? Thank you to all my supporters, and if you want to request your own tier list and get access to exclusive content, click on the link below and join my Patreon for only $1 a month. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.